Okay, I'm back, y'all, and divinely grateful risings. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to Bible Clarity. I hope y'all are doing well and that everything is going fantastic for you on this beautiful day that the Lord has given us. Okay, so y'all, we are on Deuteronomy today. We are on Deuteronomy 11 and 12. Y'all know this only takes about 15 minutes or so, but we are in the book of Deuteronomy. Y'all know we are committed to the cross, committed to reading the Bible 2 chapters at a time. So I hope that this is helpful for y'all. We've a quick recap, and we gonna let's do it. Let's get to it. We just got a new copy of the covenant, a call to love and obedience. Y'all know we have to remember to be obedient, remember to do the things that the Lord has asked us to do in the way He's asked us to do it. If you've committed to something, the Lord is giving you an assignment, just make sure you're committing to that. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get to it, y'all. Deuteronomy 11. This is a continuation, actually, of a call to love and obedience. So, let's do it. Here we go, y'all. You must love the Lord your God and always obey his requirements, decrees, regulations, and commands. Keep in mind that I am not talking now to your children who have never experienced the discipline of the Lord your God or seen his greatness and his strong hand and powerful arm. They didn't see the miraculous signs and wonders he performed in Egypt against Pharaoh and all of his land. They didn't see what the Lord did to the armies of Egypt and to their horses and chariots, how he drowned them in the Red Sea as they were chasing you. He destroyed them, and they have not recovered to this very day. Your children didn't see how the Lord cared for you in the wilderness until you arrived here. They didn't see what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, a descendant of Reuben, when the earth opened up its mouth in the Israelite camp and swallowed them, along with their households and tents and every living thing that belonged to them. But you have seen the Lord perform all these mighty deeds with your own eyes. Remember, they rebelled. I don't remember exactly where it was in Numbers, but they rebelled, and they went against the Lord. And I think it was when they thought that Moses and Aaron was trying to put themselves above them, and they were like, why shouldn't, or this, it was like rebellion, y'all. They a couple times. Okay. So the Lord opened, and Moses said, listen, if this is my doing, then y'all gonna die a normal death, and you'll know that I did this. But if something miraculous happens, and did, the whole earth opened up, right? And then swallowed them up, and they was gone. He was like, told y'all, just saying. So the Moses was appointed into the position. The Lord gave him that assignment. It's not something he just said, pick me. If you remember way back in Exodus, Moses was like, can't you get somebody else to do it? I don't want to do it. Okay. But the Lord said, you gonna do it. And so he's doing what he was assigned to do. Like all of us, we all have an assignment, right? So let's talk about the blessings of obedience, the blessings of obedience. Therefore, be careful to obey every command I am giving you today, so you may have strength to go in and take over the land you are about to enter. If you obey, you will enjoy a long life in the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors and to you, their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land you are about to enter and take over is not like the land of Egypt from which you came, where you planted your seed and made irrigation ditches with your foot, as in a vegetable garden. Rather, the land you will soon take over is a land of hills and valleys with plenty of rain, a land that the Lord your God cares for. He watches over it through each season of the year. If you carefully obey the commands I am giving you today, and if you love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and soul, then he will send the rains in their proper seasons, the early and late rains, so you can bring in your harvest of grain, new wine, and olive oil. He will give you lush pasture land for your livestock, and you yourselves will have all you want to eat. But be careful. Don't let your heart be deceived so that you turn away from the Lord and serve and worship other gods. If you do, the Lord's anger will burn against you. He will shut up the sky and hold back the rain, and the ground will fail to produce its harvest. Then you will quickly die in that good land the Lord is giving you. So commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your foreheads as reminders. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that as long as the sky remains above the earth, you and your children may flourish in the land the Lord swore to give your ancestors. Be careful to obey all these commands I am giving you. Show love to the Lord your God by walking in his ways and holding tightly to him. Then the Lord will drive out all the nations ahead of you, though they are much greater and stronger than you, and you will take over their land. Wherever you set foot, that land will be yours. Your frontiers will stretch from the wilderness in the south to Lebanon in the north, and from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you, for the Lord your God will cause the people to fear and dread you as he promised, wherever you go in the whole land. Look, today I'm giving you the choice between a blessing and a curse. You will be blessed if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you today. But you will be cursed if you reject the commands of the Lord your God and turn away from him and worship gods you have not known before. When the Lord your God brings you into the land and helps you take possession of it, you must pronounce the blessings at Mount Gerizim and the curse at Mount Ebal. These two mountains are west of the Jordan River in the land of the Canaanites who live in the Jordan Valley, near the town of Gilgal, not far from the oaks of Moreh. For you are about to cross the Jordan to take over the land the Lord your God is giving you. When you take that land and are living in it, you must be careful to obey all the decrees and regulations I am giving you today. Okay, so just be obedient. Okay, the Lord's chosen place for worship. Deuteronomy 12. These are the decrees and regulations you must be careful to obey when you live in the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. You must obey them as long as you live. When you drive out the nations that live there, you must destroy all the places where they worship their gods, high on the mountains, up on the hills, and under every green tree. Break down their altars and smash their sacred pillars. Burn their Asherah poles and cut down their carved idols. Completely erase the names of their gods. Do not worship the Lord your God in the way these pagan peoples worship their gods. Rather, you must seek the Lord your God at the place of worship he himself will choose from among all the tribes, the place where his name will be honored. There you will bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, your sacred offerings, your offerings to fulfill a vow, your voluntary offerings, and your offerings of the firstborn animals of your herds and flocks. There you and your families will feast in the presence of the Lord your God, and you will rejoice in all you have accomplished because the Lord your God has blessed you. Your pattern of worship will change. Today, all of you are doing as you please because you have not yet arrived at the place of rest, the land the Lord your God is giving you as your special possession. But you will soon cross the Jordan River and live in the land your God is giving you. When he gives you rest from all your enemies and you're living safely in the land, you must bring everything I command you, your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, your special offerings, and your offerings to fulfill a vow to the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored. You must celebrate there in the presence of the Lord your God with your sons and daughters and all your servants. And remember to include the Levites who live in your towns, for they will receive no allotment of land among you. Be careful not to sacrifice your burnt offerings just anywhere you like. You may do so only at the place the Lord will choose within one of your tribal territories. There you must offer your burnt offerings and do everything I command you. But you may butcher your animals and eat their meat in any town whenever you want. You may freely eat the animals with which the Lord your God blesses you. All of you, whether ceremonially clean or unclean, may eat that meat, just as you now eat gazelle and deer. But you must not consume the blood. You must pour it out on the ground like water, because of course the life is in the blood. But you may not eat your offerings in your hometown, neither the tithe of your grain and new wine and olive oil, nor the firstborn of your flocks and herds, nor any offerings to fulfill a vow, nor your voluntary offerings, nor your sacred offerings. You must eat these in the presence of the Lord your God at the place he will choose. Eat them there with your children, your servants, and the Levites who live in your towns, celebrating in the presence of the Lord your God in all you do. And be very careful never to neglect the Levites as long as you live in your land. When the Lord your God expands your territory as he has promised, and you have the urge to eat meat, you may freely eat meat whenever you want. It might happen that the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored, is a long way from your home. If so, you may butcher any of the cattle, sheep, or goats the Lord has given you, and you may freely eat the meat in your hometown, as I have commanded you. Anyone, whether ceremonially clean or unclean, may eat the meat just as you do now with gazelle and deer. But never consume the blood, for the blood is the life, and you must not consume the lifeblood with the meat. Instead, pour out the blood on the ground like water. Do not consume the blood, so that all may go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what pleases the Lord. Take your sacred gifts and your offerings given to fulfill a vow to the place the Lord chooses. You must offer the meat and blood of your burnt offerings on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of your other sacrifices must be poured out on the altar to the Lord your God, but you may eat the meat itself. Be careful to obey all my commands so that all will go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what is good and pleasing to the Lord your God. When the Lord your God goes ahead of you and destroys the nations, and you drive them out and live in their land, do not fall into the trap of following their customs and worshiping their gods. Do not inquire about their gods, saying, how do these nations worship their gods? I want to follow their example. You must not worship the Lord your God the way the other nations worship their gods, for they perform for their gods every detestable act that the Lord hates. They even burn their sons and daughters as sacrifices to their gods. So be careful to obey all the commands I give you. You must not add anything to them or subtract anything from them. Okay, the end. The end. So again, y'all, the Lord is like choosing a place of worship, choosing a place where he's going, like where you're going to give your offerings. And y'all know a lot of this stuff is outdated because of course we don't practice animal sacrifices and all that kind of stuff. But we do, like we can still, like you can build things in the place where the Lord has sent you. Y'all know I tell y'all this all the time. I've been in so many places, and at different places I feel like the Lord has established different things for me, right? In one place he had me in, I created the Message ClariTEA Tarot and Oracle cards. Another place, like here, just in the last couple of days, right? In this particular part, I had opened up the spirituality store. Y'all make sure y'all check it out and pick up your Message ClariTEA Tarot and Oracle cards and other stuff that's going to be added. I had opened it back in January, but he was like, not yet, closed it down. And now he has me reopening, or the spirituality store is now back open again. So, you'll build different things and give it, like that's what literally has happened for me. Different places that I've been, even like SpiritualiTEA merch, right? I was in a different place when I created SpiritualiTEA merchandise, and so everywhere like it's different places that the Lord will send us, and we can build, grow, message, worship, praise, give glory to the Lord. And I feel like that's what he wants us to do, especially if you've been on a journey like I've been on a journey where you just been in a lot of different places. You can still build something in every stage, at every place the Lord sends you, whether it's a new job, whether it's a physical location, wherever it is. We always want to build and give glory to the Lord in that place at that time, doing what he's asking us to do. Okay, so that's it, y'all. That is it. for Deuteronomy 11 and 12 next. We are on, of course, Deuteronomy 13 and 14. That will close out the week for us. And then we'll pick it back up on Monday. So, y'all, I hope this helps somebody, Lord. Y'all hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. I will see y'all on Bible Clarity, okay, for Deuteronomy 13 and 14 next, okay? I love y'all in real life.